where they're sworn to protect and serve, but are police departments doing enough to protect and serve the mental health needs of their officers? I sat down with a former Durham police officer who found herself in crisis, and she's not alone. It's only been about 3 months since Miana Richards turned her side business into her main gig, designing, building, creating these accent walls and homes across the triangle. The Durham wife and mom, now an Instagram star, her appointment book filling up. Did you ever think it would be this successful?
No, not at all. I literally was just playing around at first.
These days, you'll see her covered in paint, armed with a laser level and a nail gun. But not long ago, Miana was armed with a real gun, her service weapon, a 15-year veteran of Durham police, a sergeant overseeing officers, also a homicide detective.
So I always wanted to be a police officer since I was young. I wanted to be a homicide detective. That was my biggest goal.
Did you like being a police officer?
I loved it. I love helping the community. I love solving homicides, figuring out the crime and who did it, getting the victims' voices heard through the investigative process.
She says her struggle with depression began long ago, but in 2020, as the pandemic took hold, she hit a breaking point.
No racist! Police!
Racial tensions flared on the streets in the wake of George Floyd's murder. Richards remembers being embarrassed to admit to strangers that she was the police. She took DPD's trauma counseling services. It wasn't helping. Things got darker.
I wound up going into a deep depression. Very dark. Very dark. Like, I would get up, get my kids ready for school, and I was just numb, kind of.
I think they're having a real crisis right now.
Durham clinical social worker Bobby Newell does not treat Miana, but believes police departments need to do more to address the emerging mental health struggles of officers.
Would you say there's been a rise? More police officers seeking help?
Absolutely, yes. In the past, it was a rare occurrence if we had a police officer as a client. I've definitely seen a huge increase in that.
Newell counts the mounting staffing shortages at Triangle police departments combined with low morale, the constant feeling of threat on the job, all as factors.
At some point, I think that can tip over and crash.